Well, hello everybody, Roger here, and welcome to my channel, Rogers Reads. So today I'm doing a book review of a book entitled 14 Summers by Quinn Anderson. So this book follows identical twins, Aiden and Max, but they couldn't be more different. Max is straight and Aiden is gay. Max is the more outgoing of the two, whereas Aiden is shyer and the more introverted twin, often referred to as Max's brother. But in spite of their differences, the Kingsman twins are pretty much inseparable. They even chose to not only go to the same university, but also to room together while there. So, one day, while home for summer break, they run into their childhood best friend, Oliver, with whom they'd lost touch and hadn't seen in about 10 years, I think. And also happened to be Aiden's childhood crush. So imagine Aiden's surprise when he not only learns that Oliver, who's quite hot now, by the way, is gay, but also that he had a crush on Aiden as well. So needless to say, once these two got together, sparks began to fly, though it did take them a little bit to get together initially, given that they're both introverts and neither of them dared to make the first move. While the three of them were kids, Oliver and the Kingsman twins were almost inseparable. I think they refer to themselves as the Three Musketeers, with a lot of precious and shared memories between them. So Max assumed that now that the three of them were united, that they'd inevitably pick up where they left off, as good friends sharing a summer together. But as Aiden and Oliver's relationship moved from friendship to something deeper, Max begins to feel hurt and excluded, not understanding how his twin brother would choose Oliver over him. And drama ensues. So on to what I liked about the book. So the story itself was a sweet and tender romance, and I really enjoyed the build between Aiden and Oliver. Though things did progress rather quickly, it's not totally unbelievable given the history between them, and they both had a crush on each other for years. It was an endearing story of two boys who were given a second chance at love, and I loved Oliver and Aiden and all of their blunders, stumbles, and flounders. Their awkwardness with each other made them all the more lovable, in my opinion. What especially worked for me, though, was that this book stressed the importance of relationships between family and not only those of the romantic kind. So that being said, this wasn't only a story of two childhood friends falling in love, but it was also about the need to give all of the relationships in our life equal importance, not just the romantic ones. So what's interesting about this book is that it delved into several different types of relationships. We have friendship, romance, siblings, family units, and it all did so very masterfully, in my opinion. The situation in this book kind of reminded me how friendships sometimes become tested when one of the friends begins dating outside of the friendship. And the situation in this book is magnified given that the friendship that's being tested is that of identical twin brothers who've spent their entire life together and each of whose world revolved around the other up to this point. I enjoyed seeing the both of them adjust as they began to figure out who they are apart from their twin. Now, another thing that really worked for me was that the novel was told from each of the three boys' perspective. So through Aiden and Oliver, we experienced the exhilaration and excitement of a developing new romance, whereas through Max's point of view, we get the fear and the uncertainty and the confusion he goes through when he feels as though he's losing his brother. So via this device, the author did an excellent job of fleshing out each of these three characters, and we as the reader could emphasize equally with each of them. So, initially going in, I thought this was going to be like a light and fluffy beach type of read. I was pleasantly surprised by the depth of the story, and the ending was just perfect. So on to what I didn't like. There were a few times during the story when the characters felt more like young high school students than college students. I remember there were a couple of parts of the book where I wanted to ask Max and Aiden, what are you, like 13? So in this way, the maturity level at times didn't seem to match the age of the characters. And to be honest, I also felt that the codependent nature of Max and Aiden's relationship might have been a little bit over the top. I mean, I'm sure they dated other people, wouldn't they have? I might have liked to read a little bit more backstory of the boys' dating life or learn whether the boys had other friendships outside of their relationship with each other. So for the final verdict, I ended up loving this book. I found it humorous, lighthearted, and an overall enjoyable read. And for the record, the book ends with a happily ever after, and there was one point near the end of the book where my eyes definitely became moist for a bit. So I was totally drawn into Aiden, Max, and Oliver's story, and really I couldn't put it down once I started. It was funny, it was heartwarming, with a tiny bit of angst and drama along the way. Now, 14 Summers left me feeling happy for all of the main characters, with a nice case of the warm and fuzzies as I reached the end. So, in 14 Summers, Quinn, the author, delivers a sweet romance filled with rich, well-developed characters, friends, fun, and family that is sure to induce ear-to-ear grins. At least it did with me. So that's it for my review of 14 Summers. I do believe this book just came out on May 21st, so I don't know if any of you have had a chance to read it yet. If you had, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. And well, that's it for my review of 14 Summers. As always, I thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your support. And I will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.